QuaniTEA Radio. Welcome back to another episode of QuaniTEA Radio. It is your host, Big Quan, not the little one. And today, we have fashion stylist, fashion instructor, podcast host, 10 years in the industry, worked with major brands, celebrities, all around powerhouse, Ariel Mei.
Hello.
Yes.
That's a great intro. I'm going to need to have you bring me out more often.
Come on now. I'm here for you. I'm here for it.
I love it.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I am sleepy today. I know I told you when we walked in, but I'm doing well. You know, it's that time of the month, so it be beating me down.
Listen,
I
just got off, and I'm just like, oh my God, I already got low iron. You just trying to take all my energy.
But I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited to be here, so thank you for having me.
Of course. I thank you for coming on.
Of course.
I'm super excited. I'm just excited to have you on because I got so much I want to talk about.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's get into the authenticity segment. So this segment is where you tell me something and tell my viewers something that is unique just to you, something that a lot of people don't really know about you.
Period segment. Something like that. Something unique to me. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's so small, but a fun fact I always share is that my mom is Chinese and white. And my dad is black. Yeah, so my grandma on my mom's side is just fully Chinese. But I just identify as black. That's what I feel more connected to, and that's how I show up, and just in the community and how I was brought up to. So I identify as just black. Okay. So I feel like that's something unique. But if we're speaking specifically to what I do, I think right now something unique about me in general is just trying to show up as a person I wish I had. I think that is like my mission. I'm often trying to always give back in a way to people to where I feel like I'm being exactly the person I wish I had. Because when I first started with everything that I'm doing, I was like, dang, if I could have just one person help me out or give me some advice, I feel like I could get further. But it felt so closed off when I started, like I just had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something unique, and I stay authentic to that in every room I step into. It's never about what I do, but who I am internally. Yeah.
Okay.
So a fun fact and some,
Okay, that was a fun fact and a gem. Now, let's get to the fun fact. So you say your mom is Chinese and white.
Yes.
Okay, so how was that growing up with a mother that is Chinese and white, and you have a black father being biracial? Like, how was that growing up for you?
I never felt biracial. My mom, if you talk to her on the phone or you just didn't see her, you talked to her behind the wall, you would think she was black. So my mom was very, like, cultured, black friends, black boyfriends, so it didn't feel like a difference. But with my grandmother, it felt very different because she's from Taiwan. My mom was born in Taiwan, too, but she came out here very early. And it felt, just in general, like, different. Like I didn't belong. I didn't feel like a part. Until I got with my black side of the family, and I'm like, I'm at home. My daddy's side, it just felt like my cousins, my grandma. I grew up a lot with my grandparents on that side. Those were like my parents. Okay. So I really didn't feel biracial ever. And then when people would ask me, it would only be if my hair was out curly or something. They would ask me like, "Are you mixed?" But a lot of times I'm just black.
Yeah, you identify with being more black. And did you navigate to your dad's side of the family more because maybe skin color and you felt more accepted in that way?
Yeah, because they look like me.
Yeah.
One, and two, the love and the culture was different. I didn't have to try to be accepted with like I feel like on my Asian side of the family, it was like how I was doing in school. So it was already like that, like, where are you there? And then the acceptance comes from that. Or it was like, if you do really good and go to Harvard, because all my Asian cousins went to Harvard, it's like, then this, then that.
Yeah.
And with my my dad's side of the family, it was just like, automatically, how black
We
folk
love
is.
you
We
because
just
we
love you
love
because
you.
we love you,
Yes, yes.
So that's why that happened like that, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then getting into the gym that you dropped, I feel like it's so important to have that inspiration. Like whatever lane industry you're going into, when you don't really have someone to look up to, a
Yeah.
mentor, someone that can give you advice, it's hard. And it
Mm-hmm.
feels like I gotta learn everything on my own. I gotta do this on my own. So when people get that mentality, like, oh, I did this on my own, I got it on my own, I got it out the
Yeah.
mud. Like, it's easy for us to have that mentality because we don't have anybody helping us.
For sure.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody growing up that was an inspiration to me, in the lane that I'm in now. So
For sure. And times are different. I would say, like, with our parents, entrepreneurship always been a thing, but how it's so, like, the culture we've created now with our generation, it's just so different. So I think even just understanding what it is that we do when it comes to podcasting and all that, I would say with my family, it took them a minute to really understand, like, all the things that I do creatively. So that was also just a different thing, trying to navigate through and feeling like I had to prove something because they just didn't understand. They wanted me to finish school, go into the medical field because my dad is a doctor.
yeah.
And things like that. So it is hard when you really just feel like you're the only one that believe in yourself, and obviously you're the only one that can see your vision and trying to work to make that vision a reality so then other people can see it. It's hard, yeah.
It's hard being a creative in general. It's like some people are not going to understand unless they in your mind, they see that vision that you see. They're going to be like, well, why don't you just go to college, get your degree, do this. And, that's cool to have as like a safety net.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to live out my dreams.
For
so,
sure.
Once they see it and they see what you see, then it's like, okay, we all on board now,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you got to work to that part to where they can see it.
yes. So let's get into little girl Ariel. I want to talk about the little girl. What was she like? What was growing up like for you? Especially you being the fashionista that you are, like playing dress up, all those things. Like, what was it like?
I laugh because I was not that little girl. I was a tomboy.
Wow.
Basketball was my dreams. Basketball was my first love. I would have my hair slicked back in a ponytail, and not like the cute long ponytail. It'd be like a low,
low tomboy ponytail.
No edges. Or I would have French braids straight to the back with my natural hair. I would get it flat iron. My mom took me to the shop to get it flat iron every 2 weeks just so I can put in an easy ponytail because I didn't really care for my curls then. Sweats every day, hoodies. In middle school, I took a basketball to school every day, and I just cared about sneakers, Jordans. I was not doing dress up. I used to be like, I'm never wearing a dress. I'm never wearing shorts. I'm never wearing leggings. I hate skinny jeans.
What? This is
just
crazy,
like,
y'all.
yeah. I was like just straight tomboy. But like internally always a girl, right? But I just loved being in baggy clothes. I just loved that type of swag. And I think because I was a hooper, it just kind of connected. But yeah, I was not none of that. To the point where all my family thought I was going to be gay. And I'm just like, my mom was the only one who knew I was. She'd be like, no, she loves Little Bow Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see,
I told you.
And I always liked and had crushes on boys, but I just was so tomboy.
Yeah.
I was scaring my grandma to death.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. I never would have thought that. Like, it's like, okay, but it makes sense though with the correlation between the basketball and just having that aesthetic already. So your style, I feel like it didn't really change. It evolved. It's still the same, but it just evolved. You growing into a grown woman.
For sure. When I turned, what age was that? 25. I already had my daughter. I had my daughter at 21. So in 9th grade, I started to be like, ooh, boys, and I started dressing a little bit more girly. But I was still heavily in my hoop dream. So at 25, I was like, man, I need to start stepping into being a woman. Like, I want to learn how to do makeup. I want to start having my hair done. I want to wear, like, heels and things like that because I wasn't wearing it. And then I started to explore. I went to MAC. They taught me how to do a little some of my makeup. I started getting heels. I was going out. And I felt like at 25 is when I really stepped into womanhood and was like, I need to start looking like a grown woman. Like, I want a husband.
Yes, come on now.
So now I feel like I've learned how to make my style very versatile to where it's still, I'm still representing myself as this grown woman, but I can be chill, wear something baggy, but it's not coming off as like boyish, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. And let's talk about that, like, just real quick, because I feel like I struggled with, like, the same thing. When I really struggled, I just didn't know, you know? So it's like I was very plain Jane, and I still consider myself to be a plain Jane. But then again, I don't like that term because it's like you just don't care. You just wear whatever, you know, don't dress yourself up. And I noticed that about myself, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm just wearing whatever. If this is red, this is red. I'm putting it together, and we leaving, you know, and just finding that space where you can transition into a grown woman, even if it's just putting on a little makeup here and there and putting on a heel, and because I hated heels. I hated heels, but I'm like, you know, I could do the tolerable ones, you know, so I'll put those on.
I love a kitten. They be talking about kitten heels, but I love a kitten.
And they coming back. They ain't back in style,
they
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I got me like 3 pair of kittens.
Come on now. See? And it's just importance of doing that, and that gives you a whole nother confidence, right, when you dress up like that.
For sure. I think it's not about what you wearing. It's really about how you wearing it. Like, I had on a pair of kitten heels the other day, and with like some denim jeans that was cuffed, and what did I have on? I forgot my top. Oh, I had like this leather like crop bomber jacket on, just like a white beater, like what you have on. I got in the elevator, and this lady was like, oh my God, I love your heels. I can't wear heels like that these days. I said, this is a kitten heel. I lift my bottom up. She was like, oh my God, that's a kitten heel.
Yeah.
And I was like, so it's really about how you wearing it. It really don't matter like what it is. You know, and then you being confident in it too as well.
Yeah. Okay. Confidence plays a big part, because I be like, if I'm not sure of my outfit, I'm like, that confidence not gonna be there. But when you put that thing on, you put it on. If you
feel good about it, you gonna gravitate the attention towards you naturally.
Yes.
But if you walk in, you like, and you moving with a lack of confidence, it shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had your hoop dreams. What happened with that? So you just was like, I'm gonna just go into fashion, or like, how did you transition from basketball to fashion?
Fashion has always been something that was a part of me, because I got into high school and wanted to start like expressing myself through clothes. I used to love going thrift shopping and revamping just like vintage pieces. And then basketball, I had my daughter. So I had my daughter when I was 21. I was in junior college. And I went right back to playing basketball 2 weeks after.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, when I was pregnant, I stayed in the gym, though. Like, I wasn't fully practicing, but I would, like, get shots up. I was going to all the games. Like, I was with the team fully pregnant the whole season.
Determination. I love it.
Yeah, and then as soon as I had my daughter 2 weeks after I went back, which was, like, really a mistake. I should have, like, sat out a year, got back in shape, condition, but I was so eager to play. And so my hoop dreams failed. And then I was like, you know what, I got to figure this out. And I have a friend who's an artist, a rap artist. She goes by Allie Cocaine. I think she's changing her name now, but Allie Cocaine. And she was starting her music career, and it was just taking off. And she always came to me as a friend, like, how this look? Send me pictures. What you think it is? Should I do this? Should I do that? Going to concerts, whatever. Just asking me my advice. And then I styled her for her first shoot. And at that moment, I was like, wow, I could do this. You know, it was always like, man, if I could ever do anything I want to do, I would style people. You know, I would be a stylist, but I was like, who even knows how to do that? And like, I knew nothing about it. So it was just like a dream. It felt like one in a million. And then when I did that gig, I was like, wow, I actually can just do it here, right here in the Bay.
Yeah.
And that's how that started.
So that was your moment. It was like, I could turn this into a business. Like, I could start doing this full time.
Not then. I was like, you know what? I can just do it. This is fun.
Okay.
I want to do more. So as I'm, you know, working these regular jobs, I can kind of show the world what I'm capable of and the skill and talent I have, because around that time, I didn't see that a lot. It wasn't really, especially in the Bay, it wasn't really known to have stylists like right here, or people getting a stylist for their photo shoots and nothing like that. So I was like, let me just put this out a little bit more. And then I realized the stylists that were from the Bay, they had already left. So it wasn't nothing established here. So I was like, let me try this out and see what we can do out here in the Bay. And then it started to take off. And I was like, oh, I can make money off this?
Come on now.
Business?
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, let me start building this out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started off with doing the music, styling for the music videos, and people like trust you to be like, you know what, she gonna get me right. I'm gonna be looking right at my music videos. And did you style for like photo shoots and everything?
Photo shoots for sure. So more so for photo shoots than music videos. It was both in the beginning. But people were seeing me as a stylist, and they was like, can you style me? it started to start like that. And then I started to pick up the camera and do photography. So then they was like, oh, can you shoot and style me? So I was like, oh, this is a package that I can offer and really make some bread off of it. So then I started to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that happened.
So have you ever, like, restyle somebody's whole wardrobe? Like, I need to revamp. Like,
yeah, I actually have a client. She's my one of my favorite clients. She's 50, and she works at a college. I think Stanford. I can't remember. But I've done her whole wardrobe. So I did like a closet audit for her. We went through the things that she needed to kind of like purge, get rid of, and the things that she can keep. Then I went shopping and grabbed a whole new wardrobe for her. And we started off every month. Then we went to every other month, and now I see her every quarter. And we just like revamp her wardrobe. Okay. Now I don't offer that at all, actually. I did it for her. She was a referral, but I really don't care to do stuff like that no more.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of work in that.
Yeah, I know. Revamping somebody's whole style and trying to figure out what they want and what they're into.
I need to do my own closet.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. But there's a stylist, I can't remember his name, but he's been going viral. He just did Lisa Ray. I don't know if you've seen it, but he'll go through somebody's closet, and instead of bringing new clothes, he'll style your whole wardrobe with stuff you already have and, like, make new outfits. And he's, like, viral. He is very, very smart for what he's doing.
You know what? I need to do that because I'm a person that I'm just like, let me go on Fashion Nova real quick and buy something else, and then it just ends up sitting in the closet. And I'm like, wait, I could pair this with this, or maybe, style it up, mix it up, So I need to.
I actually want to start doing that, like seeing what I could do with people's wardrobes they already have. Because once I seen him, I got inspired.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, we always think, dang, I don't have nothing to wear with a whole closet full of stuff.
Exactly. And just buy more stuff, waste more money, and just use what you have.
Especially Fashion Nova, because they got that one-day shipping and them discounts.
Yes. So whenever you do that, you just said it now live
right,
television.
You're going to be my first one. You're going to be my first one.
Please. I'm going to let you in my closet.
I got you.
So I want to get into you being a fashion instructor and going out to the schools and doing a fashion class and working with these young people that are going to grow up to be just amazing in their own way. How did you get the opportunity to do that?
I used to throw in 2018, I want to say, I was throwing my own workshops with just putting tickets out on Eventbrite, and I was like, I'm going to teach you all how to get into this career, and then I'm going to let you all style, were they doing mannequins? They were styling real models. So it was either people who wanted to be models attending a workshop, and then the ones who wanted to be stylists would be there, and I would, like, pair them.
Okay.
Or I would bring real models, and I would have them style them. So they had an opportunity to really see what it's like and get, like, experience in the workshop. And then I worked at Richmond High. I was my resume is crazy. I used to be a behavioral technician and work with kids on the spectrum. I was a paraeducator. So at Richmond High School, I was just there, and I was like, man, I really want to start doing more with my fashion. I was like, how can I curate something that feels purpose-driven? And I was like, I'm going to start putting my program in the schools. That was a goal of mine. I remember talking to my therapist. Me and her just had this conversation because I've been my therapist for 4 years. That's my life coach at this point.
Yeah.
But we were just having a conversation where I was telling her, she was reminding me, like, remember when you were telling me you were at Richmond High and you were telling me, like, you want to start working at the schools with your fashion program, and now look at you doing that, like, every month. Yeah. And I was just like, wow. So it was just something that was, like, a goal of mine. I wrote things down. I made connections, and now I'm able to be contracted at schools and teach the babies fashion, where they design their own stuff. They style each other. They style themselves, and then they do fashion shows.
I've seen that.
Yeah, they love it. And just giving them an opportunity to, one, explore fields outside of the more traditional ones that we're taught, but two, just be creative and use your imagination and not have the pressures of anything else on you in that moment, where you could just have a safe space to create and be a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really my mission in that. And then fashion, like I always say, fashion is like the candy inside the medicine, you know? So I'm teaching them fashion, but really it's deeper rooted into confidence, self-esteem, self-expression, and stuff like that.
Yes, and it's like, because sometimes they may not know how to express themselves, and you giving them that avenue is a big deal. And then for them to go on and do what they do, they're going to always remember you in the back of their brain and be like, you know what, shout out to Miss Ariel, because she did her big one. You're going to be a part of their story.
Absolutely.
And I feel like why didn't I have that as a kid? Because I
Right.
feel like if I would have had that, like you said, what you're doing, like you wish you had that. You know, someone coming into the schools and teaching you how to
Yeah.
style and doing a runway show, fashion show, and that is so dope. And I feel like if I would have had that, my style would have been a lot better sooner. So shout out to you.
No, Sam, I do wish I had that too. For fashion, kind of like, because with my older kids, I just did at Oakland Tech. I taught them how to show up professionally, but authentically themselves still, because they're building businesses right now.
Mhm.
And I think the hard thing is knowing like how to show up, representing your business, but not feeling like you changing who you are or dimming who you are to be in these spaces, you know. So the combination of authenticity and like professionalism through wardrobe and style is what I'm teaching too. And I'm like, dang, if I had this in school, like I just wonder what, not even my wardrobe, but rewind, what
Okay.
would my mindset have been?
Yeah,
You know,
totally
what would my
shifted.
confidence have been, and how would I have showed up in certain spaces, even in college, or certain opportunities if I would have started young, you know?
Yeah.
So deeper than the clothes, again, fashion is just like that little layer. It's just a vehicle. And then I get to the kids and the youth through fashion with so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I really love that.
Thank you.
So when did the brand deal start coming in? I know you said you work with Fashion Nova, Adidas. You done start working with celebrities. You mentioned Lauryn Hill, Cardi B, like all these people and brands. Like, how did you get those opportunities? Did you pitch yourself? Did they reach
Yeah.
out to you? Like, tell me.
First, I want to say, and just put this here live on QuaniTEA. Okay,
Come
y'all
on.
caught that? That I appreciate you just doing the research and like actually getting to know me just through my social media, because this is my first time meeting you, and I'm like, damn, how you know all this?
Yeah, girl,
But
be
I just
looking.
love that you invited me here, and you were very intentional about that. That means a lot to me, you know. So thank you.
Thank you.
But how did I get into that? That was your question, right?
Yes.
I think I would say building my portfolio and really taking advantage of social media. When I was putting myself out there as a stylist, people were you can see anybody across the world through social media.
Yeah.
So I was just constantly putting myself out there, being consistent, and people were seeing me and reaching out to me. And I want to say almost all of my opportunities come from word of mouth or social media, but maybe social media first, and I worked with that person, and then word of mouth, and it just travels. Like all of my big opportunities really came from that. So I always tell people taking advantage of social media. Social media is such a big tool and like advantage with our generation. It's like we didn't have that back then. They didn't have that back then, and now that it's like so easy for us now. So I took advantage of that, and that's how I got a lot of my opportunities. Even now, meeting certain people. So quick story. I worked with Rex Life Raj early in my career, and through him, I made a very great friend. One of my closest friends, her name is Gabby, love her. And with my friend Gabby, she went to Mexico and just met somebody who, this is like very, very early news because it's not confirmed yet, but I'm claiming it, putting the atmosphere. But Apple reached out to me because she met somebody that worked at Apple, and they're doing something for small businesses in the Bay, and they wanted to find like a content creator or influencer out here, and she gave them my information, and they reached out and want to do something with me.
Oh my God.
So it's just like word of mouth, right? But through social media, because I reached out to Rex Life Raj, and when he was looking for a stylist.
Yes.
And that happened in very early, like 2018, I want to say. And now in 2026, like the fruit from me just like being consistent and putting stuff out there and making good connections and being making good impressions on people as well is now coming back to me, right? So and then with her giving my social media, that's one thing, but they had to go look at my social media, and something she said that stood out to me. My friend, she was like, it was an easy lob. All I did was show them your social media, and your social media is set up for that already.
Yeah, it speaks for itself.
You know, so that's how I started. And I always tell people, like, use your social media. I know we hate it. Some of us hate it, but it's like, take advantage.
Yeah.
Like, really take advantage. Yeah.
Oh, my God. First of all, that is so big. Thank you for even using my platform to say that.
I did. I'm like, I feel like it's going to happen. God will bring that to me for nothing.
It
so
is.
I'm waiting for the email for the meeting so we can kind of talk and start planning. But yeah, it's in the works.
That is a big. Everything is just big that you've been talking about and that you've done so far. But I'm just happy for you.
Thank you.
And just being another Black woman, making space and creating a space for us to continue. I really love that for you. So
same to you. Thank you for the space. This is a space you created for us to use our voices and to be heard. You know, and a lot of times we don't get these opportunities as women, as Black women, unless we give them to ourselves or meet the right people. But for you to give us this space, like, same. I'm always throwing back because you're doing great big things too. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so
I'm drinking a little water.
Get your water. Get your water, girl. So what would you recommend for people to get the same opportunity to get those brand deals? They've been working, they've been consistent. Would you recommend like just pitching themselves or just, like you said, I know it's word of mouth and things like that, but some people may not have that and, they're just constantly grinding, doing their thing. Yeah. What would you recommend for them to do to get those brand deals?
Yeah, I always recommend people putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
You got to build a portfolio. You got to get the experience. And I think right now what I'm seeing when people come to me, they have a business or they want to start modeling or fashion and they don't have anything to back them up other than just a idea.
Yeah.
So I always encourage people to like turn that vision into reality, and you have to start with like building something for yourself. So if you want to be a stylist, you got to have a portfolio. Because if I was to come to you and say I'm a stylist, and that's it, it's like, okay.
I want to see your work.
You want to see my work, or what can you do? You don't really trust that, right? Or if somebody does makeup, you're really not going to let nobody play on your face if you can't see their work, hair, all the things. Or if somebody's selling something, it's just like a high school diploma. We went to school and did all that to have that to back us up to be able to get these entry-level jobs. So same thing with your career. I always tell people, like, build your portfolio, put yourself out there. And then when you have your portfolio, don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to be told no, you know. One of my mentees, when it was All-Star Weekend, she DM'd the stylist for Carmelo Anthony, and was just like, hey, I'm a stylist here in the Bay, whatever, and I work with Ariel Mei sometime as her assistant, and just putting myself out there. And they hit her back, and she worked with Carmelo Anthony for all. I ain't even worked with Carmelo Anthony.
Shout out to her. Taking that chance, yeah.
She reached out, and she did it. And it's like, I have another mentee who has a Jay Walt is her client, and she told me recently that she reached out to him, and now she's working with him full time, and she just styled him for the Grammys, and that's like part of her first thing that she's ever did.
Yeah.
But it's just because I always tell them, like, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be told no. It may be no. You're gonna get some no's, because I got no's. But no, I always tell people is protection, not rejection.
Yes.
And I was just telling somebody the other day, because I did a model casting call, and it was like 100 models, and I'm such a softie. I'm like, oh my God, I want everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't have everybody, and everybody isn't ready. And I was like thinking about American Idol, and the last dude who just won. Do you watch American Idol? I don't watch it.
I'm not watching it a long time.
Me neither. But I love the dude who just won, this black guy. I think Jamal or something. And his story is he went to American Idol before, and they told him no. He didn't even get on.
Yeah.
He came back at another time, and he won American Idol, and now he's touring with Brandy and Fantasia, just coming out. That guy.
He did come out when I went to the concert. I did.
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Okay.
So he won American Idol, but he got denied the first time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if he would have stopped just because of that no, like, look where he is now. So I always tell people, like, no's are good. No's help you learn more about yourself, help you go and get a little bit more seasoned and really put the work in. Then that yes is going to be greater and it's going to be worth it. So my advice is to really, like, take a risk. I always tell people, jump off the porch, like, believe in yourself, have faith. Even when you can't see what it is.
Yeah.
God tells us walk by faith, not by sight. And that's very hard, but I've gotten to where I am literally by faith and through the grace of God, and just like believing in myself and believing that if God gave me this idea, he gave me these skills, then he's going to fund it. He's going to guide me. He's going to put me in the rooms I need to be in. So all I got to do is move. And I think we get really stuck and we really look for handouts like, oh, my friend's not supporting me. They're not buying my shirt. Or my friend won't let me. I had a friend that wouldn't let me style him to model. Yeah. And then years later he came back and was like, hey. And I'm like, no. But it's like I was really bothered by that.
Yeah.
And that can hinder you when it's like, you want your work and your whatever it is to be so good that people coming to you to purchase, they coming to you for your services. You
Yes.
shouldn't have to be like, hey, can you support me?
Mhm.
You know, put the work into where people coming to you.
Yes.
So I that's my advice. That's a lot,
I
but
know I love every bit of what you just said, especially like don't be afraid to hear the word no, because we want everything to be yes, we want everything to be perfect, just excel at
yeah.
100% and never have a flaw, never have a lesson, a mistake. It's not reality.
We want to skip the journey.
Yes.
We want to get to the destination.
Mhm.
But there is never a destination, because once you get, we as humans never going to be satisfied. We always going to want more. When we reach a certain level of success, we want another level.
Mhm.
I'm living in answered dreams, and I have to answered prayers. I'm living in answered prayers, and I have to remind myself, like, wow, these are things that I prayed for.
Yeah.
But I'm so ready for the next thing that I forget that I'm actually, like, this is an answered prayer.
Mhm.
So I think we have to really, like, slow down, too, and be okay with the no's. Be okay with the journey, the process. It's
'Cause that
okay. It's a
builds
part of it.
character. It builds character.
And your skill.
Yes.
And you get to learn what you like, what you don't like, who you want to work with through this journey. I can tell celebrities no now and be okay.
Yes.
Like, there'll be certain celebrities or artists, even Bay Area, they want to work with me. I'm like, it just don't align.
Yeah.
And I'm just not, no thank you.
Let's talk about that. Because some people be so eager to just get out there and they're willing to do anything. You can't sacrifice your morals, your values just because an opportunity approaches you. So how do you balance that and keeping your values and your morals if something just doesn't align with you, and how to respectfully say no?
You got to go through the journey to learn what aligns and what doesn't. So for me, early in my career, I was saying yes to everything. And I do recommend saying yes a lot in your career, early in your career, because you need the experience. The opportunities are helpful. The exposure is good. And just always being in pursuit of knowledge. So for me, I say yes a lot. When I got to the point of where I didn't have to say that no more, it was me learning, like, so in LA, I moved out there for 9 months to work with Fashion Nova. I was a full-time stylist for them. I quit and was working in the industry for a little bit, and I was working with certain artists, and it was just like, out here in the Bay, they book me and appreciate me for my work and for who I am, and they value that. In LA, it was just like, we need somebody, whoever gonna do it for this for free or do it for whatever we got to give them.
Yeah.
Get somebody here
It's
now.
like, if you really want to do it, let's go.
And if she don't want to do it, next.
Yeah.
You know? And so for me, I was like, wow, I worked too hard to be disposable like that. I worked too hard to be undervalued. And I was like, what is it that I want out of life? And I had to really sit down with God. And I was like, God, I know you didn't put me in this field to be styling people in clothes. I'm like, no way. You created me on earth to just be dressing people. I said, that don't make no sense. I said, the way I feel here in LA doesn't make sense, and it doesn't feel like God. It doesn't feel spirit-led. And once I sat down and, like, really hit rock bottom, like, bad, God kind of just revealed to me of my purpose. And that's why now I always say fashion is just a vehicle. It's the candy and the medicine, because what I'm doing is allowing me to be on platform to share my testimony, to share my upbringing, the things I made it through, the journey, and to be able to still live in success and have joy with all that I had to endure, right? And that's part of showing people, like, you can be exactly where I am, if not greater, although you may be in this struggle story, or although you may not see it, or you may be having, like, a challenging time in life. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And once I realized my purpose, that's when the classes start coming, more speaking opportunities, and me using fashion as a tool instead of using it as, like, my way of life, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, and this is a good segue into what you were just talking about, living in answered prayers. I hear you say that a lot, like, I am living in answered prayers, and I want to talk about how important it is to keep God at the center of everything that you do. And like you said, walk by faith. Like, even though you might not know, is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? You got to have faith that it is going to happen, because like you said, if you're walking in your purpose and your divine purpose that God has set out for you, then you have to know everything is going to happen in His timing and perfect timing and right on time for you. It might not be when you want it, but it's going to happen according to His plan.
For sure. Yeah, that's very important. Again, in LA is when I really... So when I moved to LA to work with Fashion Nova, I worked with them for 6 months, lived in LA for a total of 9. That was the first time. So I've always... Struggle was not foreign to me. I grew up very less fortunate without... And so that wasn't something that was, like, the challenge for me, but it was being in a whole nother city alone with my daughter and, like, feeling like I'm in a box. that was the hard part. And then it was the challenge of going somewhere where I thought I was going to blow up to actually doing worse than I was. And I remember a moment where I had to go through I share the story often. I had to go through my daughter's piggy bank so we can get some Little Caesars and I can wash our clothes at the wash house. And I was just so frustrated because I'm like, ain't no way I got to go through her piggy bank to, like, make this happen where I'm in LA. I've worked with certain people. I just was working for Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't even, so it was times like that where I was like, God, I don't know. Like, I'm giving up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I feel ashamed to go back home because my city is, like, rooting for me in LA. I did this whole big announcement, going away party, and really was, like, feeling myself too much, and God had to humble me. But once I was, like, able to sit myself down and really be like, you know what? I did too much and I was chasing the wrong thing. I'm chasing money. I'm chasing fame. I'm chasing celebrities and just this world that doesn't serve me. God allowed me to, like, really start to receive the things that I was praying for, but I had to change those things. I had to align my heart desires with God's plans. So anyway, to answer your question, it's very important. I feel like when you're trying to do things on your own, that's when that's when stuff is chaotic. That's when nothing working out. I feel like that's when you opening the door for the enemy to come in and just do whatever it is he want to do. When I started to really, like, be like, God, you know what? All right, I'm just, whatever it is, I can tell you what I want, and I just hope that it's aligned with what you have for me. The alignment was there, figuring out what is my purpose, and then the alignment was there. So for me, personally, that was very, very important. Like, I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't just surrender to God in that way with my business and my ideas. And now I'm, like you said, everything I mentioned is big.
Yes.
But because, God, and I believe I serve a big God, and that's just me. So, yeah.
No, that is so true. Like, we get so busy and so caught up, especially when we start to get the things that we want, we forget that God gave it to us.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hold on, rewind. He might have to take you to some situations to remind you and take a step back, like, oh, wait, okay, let me slow down. Like, I'm doing a little bit too much, or I lost focus of what was my real purpose in this. And I can attest to that because I'm like, okay, I be busy, doing this, being a mom, going to work and, doing the podcast, doing all these things. And it's like, okay, I forget to make time for God sometimes. And that's just the real honest truth. And I'm just like, we'll get waking up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. After it happened, like the first couple times, I'm just like, okay, whatever, wake up, use the bathroom, whatever. But then it start happening like back to back to back. And I'm like, God is like, okay, you too busy for me when you is up and you're doing all these things and you're just too busy going everywhere doing everything. I'm finna wake you up out your sleep.
That's good.
Like, we need to, like, I need to pray. I need to talk to God. I'm like, you know what? I used to be like, I still am. I just got away from it because I was so busy. I used to be this grateful person, thankful, full of gratitude, and I used to give thanks for just the smallest thing. I could see a rainbow, and I'm like, thank you, God. Like, oh, my God, it's so beautiful. Like, and I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And so those little moments right there, you have to be able to be keen and discern when God is talking to you. So, because he's trying to redirect you back. Like, okay, this is what you want, but you fell off the plan real quick. I got to get you back on the wagon. Come talk to me. Let's revisit this, and we finna get you back on the right path that I set out for you. That's not good. Your plan.
Yeah.
So,
clock that T. I don't gotta say nothing else. That was great. I agree with that because, again, oftentimes I think you said it earlier, like, we give ourselves the credit. We be like, I did this, I got it out the mud. And it's like, no, God blessed you to be where you are. Yep. He always going to get the glory. So making sure you go back to him, seeking him with a new idea, seeking him with your next step, seeking him when it comes to, you need the money to make it happen. Like, just in everything, go to God and trust him with it. And it's probably the best decision you can ever make.
Yes. Yeah. Amen. So you talked about you have a daughter. So how has that been, just being an entrepreneur, having a daughter? You mentioned you moved to LA for 9 months and having to go through the struggle. And so she's seeing you go through the struggle and, and just having her be like, you know what, mommy is still going to make this happen and passing down a legacy to her with everything that you're doing right now and teaching her purpose. Like, how's that been for you?
Yeah, honestly, my daughter has such a different upbringing than me. Like, for what you just said, I watched my mom go through the struggle and hustle and, like, go to jail for us because she trying to figure out like how to get welfare and work, like really being in domestic violence relationships but still giving her kids her last. Like I watched my mom struggle, but my daughter, when I was struggling, like she couldn't recognize that because she never had to struggle with me.
Yeah.
So my daughter, like, her only struggle really that she probably can pinpoint is like I made salmon and she want chicken, something
That's a
like
good
that. That's
struggle
a
right
good struggle.
there.
Opposed to me,
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to eat something,
Yeah.
other than noodles in a hot pocket. And so I've been blessed to where my daughter doesn't have to see the struggle. She's seen me definitely cry a lot before and been down, but I don't think she fully understand what that was. And even now, my daughter is very blessed to where she doesn't have to want or need for anything. I'm even working in space now where I'm trying to, like, I think I spoiled her rotten to where, like,
That's what you're supposed to do, though.
I think spoiling is good.
Yeah.
There's but then, like, rotten.
The rotten part.
And then
yeah.
just my boyfriend gave me a different perspective recently, and he was like, when something is spoiled, it's bad. When something is spoiled, you gotta throw it out, So for me, I never thought about it like that, and I think I did spoil her to the point where she's not bad, but I think now I'm in the stage of teaching her how to value things, friendships, and the stuff that she has, because she just feel like, oh, I want it, I can have it, and it's like, no. Now I'm like, no to everything, and it's just different for her. So for me, that was like my journey with my daughter. She didn't really understand it. Even there was times when we were in LA and she was turning 6 or 5, and I had nothing. And I was like, what am I going to do for her birthday? And I went to the dollar store and bought heck of stuff and decorated my little studio. And she just was like, oh my God. And then we went to hometown buffet, just me and her. And she felt like she literally said it's the best birthday ever.
Yep.
And I was so emotional because that money I had was from people, my friends in the Bay, like, oh, happy birthday, Kylie, here's $50. Happy. And I'm just like, they didn't even know that, like, you are blessing us right now.
Yes.
So my daughter didn't really have to experience in a way where it affected her.
Yeah.
God still kept us covered to where he was getting me through without my daughter having to, like, feel it with me also.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. And I feel like you're an amazing mom just from
Thank
talking
you.
with you and seeing your social media. And she's blessed to have you.
Thank
so, how's her style? I got to ask about her style. Like, does she have her own sense of style? Or you guiding her? You like, okay, pair this with that, with this. Like, how's her style growing up right now?
Right now, so she's always been a kid where I let her wear whatever she wants. So when she was 2, she always had these, like, what I think it was like some Trolls dresses. Trolls, the character, and then Frozen, that's when that was popular. Like all these little character dresses, and she would wear them out to where it was like that was almost what she wore every day, and I had to keep washing it. And then she had like the little character shoes that had the little click clack on it or whatever. So I always let her express herself however she wanted to, and then as she got older, now she really don't be wanting me to help her with nothing. Like, even when she was younger, she was like, no, she want to wear what she want to wear.
She got it. Yeah.
She got it. And now I be like, girl, you just don't know who your mom is. Because she be wanting to do it all herself. And she'll come to me sometimes. But I think she's discovering her style right now. It's, like, kind of similar to mine. But I think if she could wear, like, skirts and shorts all the time, she would. But I'm just like that mom. Like, nope, too short. So I think I'm hindering her a little bit from what she really want to wear. But so she's still discovering,
Okay, and it's fun to watch her, like, to see, like, oh, she gonna have my style, she got her own style, or she gonna do a combination, I
could tell she take after me because she can fit all my stuff.
Okay.
So she every morning, Mom, can I wear those army pants? Mom, do you have some shorts? And I'm like, no, you have your own stuff. Go in your closet. You don't take care of stuff, But I can tell she's starting to, like, get more into it. I love a tie, a necktie. She just asked me the other day, could she get a necktie?
Okay.
So, yeah, she's getting there to her. She's filling it out.
Okay, shout out to her. I want to talk about just, like, some challenges and struggles that you may have had along the way and how you overcame them. Like, just from life in general and just being in the fashion industry.
Yeah. Life in general, I don't know where to start. I think, again, struggle and things like that wasn't foreign to me. I grew up less fortunate, just my mom really struggling, not having a lot, not having support, my mom not having support, and really I was a child that raised myself in a sense. Like, I learned a lot, like, being out in the streets, being at school, and just through my experiences with my friends, I didn't really have any parental guidance. My dad had left early on. Me and my dad are great. Me and my mom are great. But when I was a child, they were young,
Yeah.
figuring it out. So I didn't really have that parental guidance that I wish I had. So that was a challenge. My grandmother, though, my dad's mom, she was like my mom. But she was in Chicago. Her and my grandfather lived in Chicago. So I would only see them every summer. But that was like through the grace of God, I always say my grandparents saved me because their prayers, taking me to church when I was out there, having me come every summer. That is when I felt like the most love. I had like structure and felt like home.
Yeah.
But my mom, shout out to my mom. Like she went to jail for trying to just survive for her kids. She was in a 17-year abusive relationship. Me and my sisters in that with her, having moments where we're houseless, living with other people. So that's the type of upbringing I had. And this is growing up in Oakland. So many other things, like watching friends die and being in the wrong places at the wrong time, things like that. But it shaped me so much it gave me this love for my city and for the youth and for the babies that are just like me. And then I had got into a domestic violence relationship when I was 17. So when my mom was in one, I was so angry at her at the time, I ended up getting in one, And that was a big thing for me because I always said I would never.
Girl,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I was
It's
like,
okay.
I would never. And then it took for me to get in one to learn, like, wow, this is not hard. People aren't choosing really, like, it's a choice, but you're not like, oh, I'm just going to stay here. Like, it's really something that you have to try to get out of.
Yeah.
And and I don't never regret any of that because just recently, the other day, somebody came up to me. She was like, I'm going to be where you are because I'm where you were once. Was in a domestic violence relationship, me and my son, and I'm getting out. She was telling me like she's choosing herself. And for me, I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't even know how to like respond because she's telling me like she's in that and she's getting out.
Yeah.
And because of me, she said, because you shared your story, because you told me you got out, and because now I see all the great things that God is doing for you, I know that can be me too. So I'm where you once were, but I'm going to be where you are as well.
Yes.
And I was just like,
you're giving people hope.
jaw on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those type of things that I've gone through, I never regret because they shaped me and allowed me to be who I am for who I am today.
Man, you have a testimony. Like, you have just everything that you do and just being purpose driven. Like you said, God did not take you through those things that you went through just to leave you there.
Yeah.
Like, he had a greater purpose for you, and even using like the fashion lane and for you and everything, you're still gonna give thanks and praise to him and tell people about your testimony. So it's like, I was here, and this is what my platform is all about. So it's like, you people get inspired. Like, you are an inspiration. So I'm just glad to have you on, and
Thank
people
you.
can see, like, they can be inspired by you. Like, they may be where you were, like the young lady said, and they're going to get out of that situation because they see what can happen, what God can do. So, that was, yeah. So we're going to transition into the basic fundamentals of putting together an outfit. Just a good fit all around and being fly on a budget. So just give me, like, no matter what aesthetic, like, what do you always want to have in your closet? Like, speaking from a woman's point of view, and you can speak from a man's point of view too, of what they should have in their closet, but just something that you should always have to put like a good fit together.
Yeah, I'm a fly on a budget girl. Seriously, like, I'm always buying stuff that is like inexpensive. Basics that you should always have. I just tell my students that you always want to have a good pair of jeans because you can dress jeans up and you can dress them down. Good quality shirts because you always need just like a basic shirt. Even for the girls, like, we love a white beater or that type of style that you got on.
I did good, y'all.
But basic pieces that you could wear with anything, because I think sometimes we buy the things that attract our eye, and it's the loud stuff that you feel like you can only wear once, or it stands out and you don't really know how to remix that. But if you have more basics, your loud pieces and your pieces that stand out, you can mix and match with that. So I always say basics. White tennis shoe, black one, whatever, neutral color stuff is really good to start off with.
Okay.
And then when it comes to just shopping on a budget, I feel like if you build your wardrobe enough with the basics, and when you see nice, like, standout pieces, buy it when you see it if you can, and have it in your closet. Because sometimes we'll only buy per occasion, and then when the time comes, now we're scrambling trying to find something. But if you have a nice wardrobe set up and you buy some when you see it, or when you're able to, you'll have that to pull from and can mix it up, and you won't feel so stressed, or you won't lose confidence trying to find something to wear because you're like, oh my God, this party tomorrow, I don't know what to wear, I gotta, you just go in your closet. So there's like this level of comfort that comes from being able to just go right in your closet all the time because you have stuff to pull from.
Yes.
But knowing your body type, not being in denial of like your actual size, those type of things play a part in all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that was me a lot of the times. I'm like, okay, I got to buy something for every occasion. Oh, you having a party this Saturday? Let me go shop online. Let me run to Ross real quick. Let me run. And it's like, okay, girl, you got stuff in your closet. Just take the time to put it together. And I didn't have that sense of style yet. I'm finding this. It's been a couple years, and I'm just like, let me put this together. Let me see what I already have before I run to Fashion Nova. You know what I mean? Like, I got some stuff in there. Let me put it together. So
for sure. Even how today, like, those are some track pants. Very comfortable lounge wear. I've been hearing a lot about Walmart. I got to get in there. But, like, the way you elevated with this heel, the white heel in the top, like, you switched up. But then you can wear that. I'm sure it was a set. Or you can wear it with something lounge and some sneakers, But having pieces that you can dress up and down is very key.
Thank you. See, I am learning, and thank you. I'm like, I try to put on my little shit for her. I try to,
I wish I would have, like, okay, I'll say today because I told you, this is my boyfriend clothes.
Yes, and you put it together.
I was struggling, but I just needed something real quick to be decent because I didn't have anything. And I was at his house. But, some cargo pants, these are the only shoes I had, a white shirt. But I think it's, like, again, not about what you have on, but how you wearing it. Like, I think I came in with, like, okay, I'm comfortable enough in this to where you like, oh, okay, you look cute. I'm like, girl, I did not. This was something I put together real quick, but it's like how you wear things.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have known unless you said something. You told me. I'm like, what? So you have that sense of style. Like, you can go in, you say, I'm at my boyfriend's house. What you got? I'm finna put this together and make it work. Put the earring on, make it pop. So a little girly chill. Like, I like the style.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, now let's get into it. The Blueprint, June 27th.
Yes.
That is your event that you're putting together. Talk about it. Give me all the details. Not all of them, because you're going to have to buy your tickets to see all the details, okay?
Really?
So, but yeah, tell me what inspired that and how it's coming along for you so far.
Yeah, where was I? I remember I was coming from somewhere. I was at the airport, and I was just, like, really inspired. And I'm like, man, I haven't done anything in a while, and I feel like my resume and just, like, my portfolio was so broad and so long. Like, I feel like I need to be doing something that I can give back in that sense. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do another workshop for the adults. It's been a minute. And I was like, but I don't want it to be no regular, like, I need this to feel big. It was the beginning of the year, and ideas just started to come to me. I started to pray about it. And I was still calling it a workshop. And then one of my best friends, she was like, this is a conference.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is, because it's more than just the workshops. And just like that, like, God gave me the idea. I prayed over it. And God is funding it, child. Because when I say this is big, it really is big, to the point of when I started, I was going to tour the venues and didn't have the money for the venue. But I was like, I was putting it out there, and I'm like, I don't even got the money for this, and God is literally funding it. I swear to you. So it's like, that's how that came about. Me wanting to give back and do something for the Bay Area, like, put on and just give us something to look forward to. And again, be the person I wish I had on this broader spectrum. Like, I feel like if I would have had conferences or workshops to go to and just be inspired, just to be motivated, just to get something, like a little gem to take with me to keep going, I would have did a lot better differently. But I feel like because I didn't have that, God is making me that person now so I can be that for everyone else.
Yes.
So that's really what it's all about. Like, if you a stylist, model, hair, makeup, you got a brand, a business, woman, man, like, it's not limited to any of those, but it's for everybody in that sense, who was like trying to figure out where to go next, or who wants to start. So that's what I build, and that's why I call it the blueprint, because you're going to leave here. You're going to leave there with something to be able to advance wherever you are, no matter what level you're on. If you leave there not ready or knowing what to do next, you was in there asleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally giving it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all go get y'all tickets. We're going to put that link in the comments below so you can go ahead and purchase your tickets for that. You're not going to want to miss this. And I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I was going to invite you. I know you said you do like media stuff or something
Yes,
like
a media
that?
personality, hosting, live interviews.
Live interviews is what you said, and I had someone reach out wanting to do live interviews. She does a podcast as well, and I was
Okay.
like, I don't know, and I was like, that might be a great idea, and give people something to feel there, and so if you would like to have a media pass for that day and come and do live interviews, you hear it here first.
Oh my God, y'all! This is crazy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Of course, I would love to come and do that and just be a part of the greatness that you have created.
Thank you.
So yes,
Okay, we'll talk.
I would love that.
But yeah, when you said that, I was like, that'd be nice. I'm planning on having like a red carpet. We're not gonna be too dressed up because it still is workshop, but just that feel of like red carpet, and you can do your live interviews, meet different people
on the red carpet. Say what you got on, what you put on today.
So, whatever you want to do, I'll leave it to you. But I'm gonna make media passes for certain people to come and do live interviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Put that on camera, y'all. Thank y'all so. Thank
said,
you
"Make
so
sure you
much.
got that."
Make sure you got that. She said, "No, I'm just kidding." But I appreciate you so much, and I just appreciate you for coming on today. I know it was a little bit of a drive, so I appreciate you traveling out, and good conversation, good energy. I really appreciate you, and go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you out on social media and to get those tickets.
Yes. Oh, well, first of all, thank you again. I want to give you your flowers. This was amazing. I love the conversation. I love when it's, a lot of times on podcasts, people feel like they got to get messy or really like tea, right? It got to be something that's like, ooh, juicy, big, instead of something intentional, purposeful, inspirational. And I felt today I got all of that from you. So thank you for your platform and inviting me and seeing something in me worth wanting to give me a space here. That I take that big. So thank you.
Of course.
You all can find me everywhere on Ariel Mei. That's my name, my real name. May is my middle name. If you go on Google and type in Ariel Mei, you will literally find me on everything. May is MEI, but Instagram is ARIEL.MEII. And then everything else is there. The tickets link in my bio. They're going fast too, actually. But there are some left, but they're going fast. I have VIP left and some general admission left. Early bird tickets gone. But where else? Y'all can find me.
Yes. Okay. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all go follow her, support her movement. She's doing amazing things. Go get those tickets.
Yes.
See you at the event on June 27th at the Blueprint Conference. And yes, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, share this with your family, your auntie, cousin, them, kinfolk.
Right.
Okay. And this has been another episode of QuaniTEA Radio Podcast.